Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is me, Dukect, here live once again on TalkShoe.com for you, the people. And I have a very interesting show for you today because there's been a lot of interesting stuff that's going on in the world of entertainment and also in wrestling as well. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's start off with something really, really good. Something interesting. Star Trek Discovery. I saw the brand new trailer, and it actually looks decent. It actually looks good. I actually do like it. There is some really positive stuff here. It seems to be the first. It is as I It is 10 years before the original Star Trek, which to me is a red flag a little bit because why do we have to steal in this era? I mean, why can't we go after it? Let us continue to grow because grow as a series because I feel like we keep going backwards. If you know what I'm saying, right? It seems like the series keeps going backwards, not forward. Why can't they actually continue to go forward into this, continue to grow into the series and see what happened after the Dominion War, and seeing how there's some probably adventures there, and you could probably, trying to get this thing right here, and try to do something like that. That would be something good. I think most people would agree that would actually bring in some more interesting, more positive, something that actually what people will bring into, something that everyone would say, wow, I would really like to see that. Something that would be more interesting. And I can see why. And I can see why, people would be more interested in that. But then again, this prequel idea it's a negative one. And I can see why some people don't like the prequel, but, But yeah, I can see that too, but it just really has a bit of bad taste in my mouth. But I gotta say, this is interesting. We're not actually having a captain here. It is a first officer that is going to be taking the main protagonist role here. It will be as a human that has been raised by Vulcans, and she will be the number one, the number one to see a different perspective of a Star Trek, which is interesting. And hopefully it will bring some more some more like not just as the number one as you have the captain, but also can see as again as the commander or the as the first officer, but also maybe have more of a connection to say other parts of the crew as engineer or helmsman or any of these characters that were originally side characters could actually be forefront into the regular series. That could be really interesting. Yeah. Also, it seems that I like the introducing of Sarek. It looks like there's something that will be something good, and it seems to be a season-long arc. So if this works, maybe this could be something very interesting, something that could really bring up series. Even though the Klingon designs are, I don't know, I don't like the Klingon designs. It just seems it's the way to try hard. You know what I'm saying? It's trying way too hard to be, trying to be the same type of, trying to be different, but yet not trying to be different. They're trying so hard to be different and revolutionary, but at the end of the day, it just, it just seems like very bad cosplay. But that's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm sorry, the Klingons don't look like Klingons to me. I don't know, not my hashtag, not my Klingon. It just looks completely, I don't know, it looks, those things just stood out to me bad. But I do like the visuals. It looks something right out of, something like, something you see, some really good effects and such that actually Star Trek is known for, even though it starts off in the desert somewhere in the beginning, which is really awkward. I have no idea why these two are actually walking in the desert for whatever reason. Or maybe that's a weird test the captain gives to all of its first officers. It seems like, the weird quirks of the captains. All I hope is, the one thing I do hope about this series, and there's something that I think most people would agree with, is that it's better than the last TV series of Star Trek. Because Enterprise, was probably one of the worst series out there. It looked terrible. The captain was a trained diplomat, or someone, remember, he was a trained diplomat. We had gotten to so many situations of proving that he wasn't. He was highly emotional. He was just, they said he was all these things, but in the end, he was the opposite of that. He was opposite of being opposite of being, as what a leader should be. He was very just not as someone like Star Trek. As if I think of a captain under stressful situations, Captain John Archer is not one person I would actually look up and say, yeah. So my hope is Star Trek Discovery can be at least as good as, say, Star Trek Beyond, as the movies go, but yet someone like decent, like Void, somewhere. I'm not asking to be Deep Space Nine. I'm not asking to be a Deep Space Nine, but actually try to be just as decent or just around the decency of Voyager. Yeah, I know Voyager had its ups and downs, and Janeway had its issues. Had her issue. Kate Mulgrew had an issue. She's a very good actress, but Janeway had, was not really that. Sometimes you just look at Jeremy like you just facepalm, but when Voyager was good, it was good. I just hope they hit that peak. I hope hit that thing running. And I know it's not going to be on CBS for one night to get like a 2-episode premiere, and then it goes right to CBS All Access. Yeah, that's not going to help. That's not going to really, bring in like, oh my gosh, people to buy. Because that's basically a one series. That CBS All Access has that one series. While it looks good, I don't see a reason why to buy the digital channel, like say a Netflix or Amazon Prime, or not just Amazon Prime, but Hulu, HBO Go, or heck, even WWE Network. Yeah, at the end of the day, sure, you have one great show, but what else is there other than reruns of Two and a Half Men? I'm sorry, but no, you can't really run a show like that. So, or a series like that. So that's what I would like to see. Give me a reason to buy this network, this digital network is CBS. And if you can't give me that, well, hopefully in it looks like it will be. My hope. It will, it will probably get on Netflix soon enough. My hope it will be, because it's been delayed for a very, very long time to get on here. And hopefully this on-demand service thing, hopefully it won't stay exclusive to that. Because it looks like it will be, not exactly can, and Netflix to another 8. Well, it looks like, but yet, Netflix will, Hopefully, it will be on there, eventually, because the release will be on special preview broadcast on CBS Fall 2017, and the pilot and subsequent first run episodes will be streamed weekly in the United States on CBS All Access. CBS Studios International licensed the release to Bell Media and broadcast in Canada and to Netflix for another 188 countries. For Canada, the premiere will be broadcast on CTV Network on the same night the U.S. premiere, with subsequent episodes initially airing on Bell's science fiction cable channel Space in English, Z in French, and before being streamed on Crave TV. For other countries, Netflix will release each episode of the series for streaming within 24 hours of its U.S. debut. Well, here's hopefully. Hopefully it will get on Netflix after its run so I can watch it entirely. I know there's probably other ways I can actually watch the series, but, maybe if CBS All Access can bring in something good, bring in something positive, a reason to actually have the show, and give me a reason to care about the show. Give me a reason. I don't care about the show, but also give me a reason to buy the network. Because if there is no other reason, there's no other shows or anything that interests me, I just wait till it gets on Netflix. Maybe that's gonna be a year or two, but yeah, this thing. If there is no other reason for it to get, if this better work for CBS, because if it doesn't, and it doesn't bring the ratings, I will see this show maybe being for one or two maybe of one season and be gone. But speaking of weird Star Trek stuff and everything else, let's see. Seth MacFarlane actually has a Star Trek series called The Orville. Oh yes, this actually looks really interesting. I saw this trailer a couple days ago, and I actually liked it. And it is going to be sometime on the Fox 2017-2018 season. And it looks good. It's basically it looks like going to be a series basically while having some good sci-fi elements, but I would not be surprised that it's going to poke a lot from the Star Trek, and well, they're probably going to have a lot of stuff they can make fun of. Because it seems like it sets 400 years in the future, follows the adventure of the USS Orville, a mid-level exploratory vessel. Is Q, part human, aliens, and yada yada yada. It's a Star Trek ripoff. It says Earth is part of the Planetary Union, a far-reaching, advanced, and mostly peaceful civilization with a fleet of 3,000 ships, yet probably none of them in the same vector. Hopefully that would probably be a joke. I guess so. By the way, I don't know how I don't know how the Federation runs efficiently, where only the Enterprise is the only ship in that so-called sector that could do anything. What the hell the other Star Trek ships are doing? I know they're probably doing their missions, but couldn't they be like, hey, help a brother, help them out at least? I know the reason why the show, because they couldn't afford the CGI effects, but yeah. But anyway, it looks like Ed Mercer, played by MacFarlane, gets a chance to command one of the big ships, the USS Orville. And then his ex-wife, Kelly Grayson, is going to be the new commander, his new number one. So it looks like it's going to be really an interesting and funny show. And I've actually got a couple laughs from me. So, but again, it's just a trailer, so I can't wait to see it. It looks really fun, and I can't wait to see more of this show. And honestly, it's probably one of the more interesting trailers I saw. Another interesting trailer I did see, thinking about the trailers, the brand new trailer of The Dark Crystal, Age of Renaissance, Rage of Resistance. And Netflix is reviving it. It looks like it's going to be a 10-episode prequel series about the three Gelfling discovering the horrifying secrets of the Skell's power, and they set off an epic journey to ignite the fires of rebellion and save the world. And then if you look at the teaser, they're losing puppetry. They're keeping it the way Jim Henson looks at it, where it was when the Dark Crystal was found, when it was first started. It looks really good. If you're into that type of stuff in that production, I would be really this looks actually really interesting. I wish it was a sequel or a remake, because I think the Dark Crystal is old enough to have a remake and reboot, if you were. And trying to connect it to the first one would be, just to me, it's probably going to end up with more questions than answers. And hopefully it's good. And if it is good, how are you going to do a sequel series? That's the question right there. Another good question about that. Also, part of me wishes, when I look at the drawings, I really wish this was animated. I like, people like puppetry and all this other stuff with Johansson, great stuff. But I look at the drawings, I'm like, man, while watching the teaser, and I'm like, I think this could have been much better if it was animated. I think it would have been a lot more freer, and I think it would have probably had less of the, the awkwardness of what puppetry can have in the moves and everything, and everything like that. That's my personal opinion. I think it would be solved a lot more if this was an animated show. And Netflix doesn't hit the balls right out of the park with the animated stuff. I mean, Voltron is actually really good, and I heard some good stuff about the other animated projects they have. So, yeah. I mean, then again, there are fans of the Dark Crystal. Me personally, as I watched it, I thought it was decent. I wasn't much of a big fan of it. But yeah, I can see why people really like this series, and a lot of people were hyped. It looks interesting. So I think this could be something a lot of people can really enjoy. This could be something that people can really enjoy. And actually could, and could be another win for Netflix. Well, then again, Netflix has, like I said, a ton of great content, not just in movies. Anyway, that's pretty much it for that stuff. Wow, I got good mileage about that. Anyway, we're gonna take a small little musical break, and yes, I have a fan on because it's like 80, 90 degrees out there right now, and I'm like, it is. I'm not going to be doing, anything under that. So, I'm not going to, because it's too hot to keep this, it's too hot, man. So, who cares? Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to be about some music. We're going to play a little music. Let's see, what haven't I played in a while? Oh, how about, let's see. This is an OC remix. Let's see, OC remix, Teenage to Shell Shocked from the album Shell Shocked. Really good stuff. I haven't played this song in a while, and I will be. It's called Shellpocalypse Alley. Shellpocalypse Alley. No, not that. No. Let's see. Hot for April. Turtle Swing. From 60 Sounds. I haven't played that in a long while. So, how about we play a little bit of that? It's from OC Remix. You can get the album at ocremix.com. And let me tell you, those albums are great. And after we finish this little song, little ditty, we'll be getting into WWE Backlash 2017. My thoughts about the show, and who wins, who loses, and what will be the interesting after effects of that pay-per-view. We'll be right back, right after this, here on TalkShoe.com. are back here live, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect. Remember, the phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. And if you're not listening live, how dare you? You can also catch me, people, on not only iTunes, but also on YouTube, youtube.com/Dukect. Freaking awesome network, awesome people over there. Freaking awesome network, the fan. I will be posting this stuff up there as well, and on manexpression.com. And not only that, I will be posting this on vin.me and any other place that you can find me. So, WWE Backlash. A show with many historical stuff, great and interesting. So many great moments, great in the entire Backlash chronology. So many good moments. Backlash from the In Your House, starting at In Your House pay-per-view, and back in 1999. To now being a part of the SmackDown Live's SmackDown Live's special event. It has a very interesting history, as you know, and so on and so forth. So, let's take a look at the card here, ladies and gentlemen. Backlash 2017. There is so many things to look into. Well, first up, let's talk about the big. Not really bad, but a match that is so not really caring from the least important to the, important the main event. First up, we have Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan, the Wyatt family explodes match that no one cares about because both of these characters have nothing really interesting and such. And people say, I want to talk smack stuff. Got Eric Rowan, has some good stuff there. Maybe, but I just don't care about his mainstream. When he's on time, I'm like, when he's on the main show and stuff, I haven't cared about Eric Rowan. I like Luke Harper. The dude could be something really important, but he has been mishandled after his left with Bray Wyatt and such. He's been lost. So I expect another superstar shakeup and them going to be reunited and then him being a complete pointless wrestler again. Eric Rowan, the only thing he got going for is a decent looking mask. That's pretty much it. So, winner, I say Luke Harper because, I don't know. Just because I don't really care. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. Should I care about this match? Probably not. Another match I don't care for. Let's see. Baron Corbin needs victory because he's been losing. Sami Zayn is the king of losing, so Baron Corbin will win because Sami Zayn is a loser, and his character is pretty much, that's what his character is, the hard luck loser who can win the big one, but in the end he most likely not chokes, more often not chokes. That's his character. He's basically the Chicago Cubs or the DC sports teams when they reach the second round of postseason. Next up is Shinsuke Nakamura in his wrestling debut, his main roster debut, versus Dolph the Bitter Ziggler. Don't care. Shinsuke Nakamura wins. Kinshasa wins in place maybe in 6 or 7 minutes. I don't care for Dolph Ziggler at all. Next up is Naomi, Charlotte, Becky Lynch taking on the Welcoming Committee. And Natalya, Carmella, Tamina, F. James, No Chin Ellsworth in a 6-woman tag. I have Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky winning. And after they win, you will have, I would say, Charlotte versus Naomi one more time and have Becky Lynch take on Naomi. Because I think those two would actually be a really good match. That would be pretty cool. Straight Fire versus The Glow would be amazing. Triple threat match? SummerSlam? Naomi versus Charlotte versus Becky? I'll buy that. Just me. Anyway, next up is Kevin Owens, the face of America, taking on AJ Styles for the United States Championship, and I do not care for this rivalry at all. I don't know. It just feels like the show, that rivalry I didn't really care about it. It just feels a waste. A waste. It just feels like it's a waste of time. AJ Styles is definitely needed on the top of a card, honestly. He doesn't need to be in the United States Championship. I understand you want to make the championship important, but yeah, it's kind of just, I don't know. I think Kevin Owens, after his main event title run and with the Universal title, I just felt like I just got really sour. I mean, I like Kevin Steen. I like his stuff here, saying that how he needs to be the top guy, how evil he can be, and all this type of stuff. That likable asshole, which he has some flavors of that here, but it's just, it just seems like his last promo on SmackDown Live, he looks bored. He's trying to be so much like serious Chris Jericho, but in the end, it's just not really just clicking with him. I just don't care. I want to like Kevin Owens, but I just don't care. I think Owens wins because Baron Corbin gets involved because he still wants AJ Styles for some reason, and I think this match goes to a triple threat match at the next SmackDown pay-per-view. I think it's Money in the Bank, and I have Baron Corbin winning the United States title. Give him something to do. Or to have Kevin Owens become Face of America for a longest time or something, probably at least till SummerSlam, till someone like, say, Mojo Rawley beats him. Well, that makes most sense at this point. Yeah, that's how I would do it. But then I could be wrong. Just because, honestly, there has to be a direction after this, and I think there will be at least some direction in the SmackDown, because there needs to be something interesting. Maybe Shinsuke Nakamura could take down Kevin Owens. I don't know, maybe. That would be an interesting feud. Next up is the Usos, the tag team champions, taking on Breezango, the Fashion Police. And honestly, I gotta say, the Breezango Fashion Police, I love the character development they had after winning the stuff. And it showed pretty much they do have good character skills with the whole Southpaw Regional Wrestling. I love that. Especially Tyler Breeze. I love his stuff with the fake. He seems that when he does these other stuff, he can really have fun with it. And Fandango looks to be really having fun. He looks like he's having fun with this too, and really getting into it. So kudos to both guys. At the end of the day, win or lose, they proved that they could be good characters, good face characters, and honestly more interesting protagonists. They could be more interesting protagonists as babyface tag team characters than anything American Alpha has. I don't know, maybe a heel turn or something could shake American Alpha up or something. They need something. Maybe not a heel turn, but something that can make people care about remembering them. They need something. And the Usos, again, been pretty good as well. So I think they've been doing pretty well. I love their whole crazy, rambling promo style as well. So hopefully they can get more promo stuff as well as the tag team champions, as I think this could be a match that go either way. I honestly want to say Breezango wins, but I think the Usos will retain because they need to have... they held the titles for a while, since I think it was before WrestleMania. So I think they'll hold the title till at least Money in the Bank, but I could be wrong here. So I think the Usos will pick up the victory. And I think the Usos could pick up the victory, but Breezango winning would not be a shock. Then again, what do you do with Breezango? Hopefully you continue these sketches, though. And then we get to our main event, the WWE Heavyweight Championship match. As the champion, Randy Orton, the victor of WrestleMania, takes down, because to take on the Maserati. Whatever. Not the Maserati, is it? Whatever Jim Hall calls it. I can't pronounce it. But if you can probably pronounce it, put it down in the comments below. But it will be Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton with for the WWE Championship match. And I am interested in this match just because it might be something really good. The way they've been building Jinder Mahal these past couple of weeks, he's been proving himself. Really, not just his, KOing a Finn Balor, but also his way he's handling stuff down, talking smack, but also getting actual villain heat, boos, when he does promos and such. Even though it was lacking a bit, but I liked it. Even though he is doing the whole American, that type, the for America, and oh my gosh, everyone hates me because I'm this, that, and the other, because you hate me because of my race and anything else, and I'm foreign and all this type of stuff, which, fine, I don't like that. Just make him just a prick at heel or something, saying that he's better than everyone else, but just leave the anti-American stuff. I'm just tired of that stuff. But I want to see Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton wins here, maybe because Jinder Mahal has been looking really good. I think he wins here, but I think Jinder Mahal stays up the upper. I think he can prove that he can be something really up this whole thing. Would I be surprised if he wins it? No, but I think he should. I think he stays around, maybe wins the U.S. Championship for a while. I think this could be really good for him if they can follow up. If the WWE follows up with Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers, I think they could have a really decent stable here. I think they could do something really good and really positive if they know how to finish this stuff. And it is SmackDown, and they know how to do this good character stuff. So maybe after this whole thing, maybe after this whole stuff here, maybe they can bring some of that mojo back. Maybe have Jinder Mahal win it to shake things up. It would be interesting to say the least. And you have an instant feud with, say, let's see, Mojo Rawley, because hey, you can easily go back to that of Mojo Rawley versus Jinder Mahal. Well, at this point, that could be interesting. Then again, I think people will probably be like, oh God, not for the WWE title. It would be really terrible for some people. But have it for the United States Championship, I think that would go down a lot better. Then again, that will have to involve having Mojo Rawley beat Kevin Owens. But I think most people would be agreed. But I think most people at this point, if it gets to that point, I think that would be a lot better having, some people will be more tolerable having Jinder Mahal win the title, let's say SummerSlam, and U.S. Championship, and have him run that title there. And then maybe, once more of that type of positive grows on him, he can go and win the World Championship maybe next year or later on this year if he gets very more high momentum. But if he does win the title here, I wouldn't be surprised and I would not be against it. It would be something, because I don't think it's either that or he loses the title to Rusev, because I don't see him AJ, because honestly, I would love AJ Styles versus Randy Orton again. They wasted that first match on SmackDown, which I understand they want to make something big and important, but yet I just think a match like that should not be on SmackDown. That first encounter should be on pay-per-views, dang it. That's a SummerSlam match right there. That's money. And WWE wastes it. I don't understand that. I know I shouldn't be but just when you have main stars, you don't have your main stars fight each other every week and such. It just devalues them and saying, okay, this is important. Well, the first time they fought was important. The winner goes to on the face WrestleMania, and I get that. You want this show that has consequence. Say, yes, this SmackDown matters. This weekly show matters, other than just having your wrestlers face jobbers and such, and so on and so forth. And I get that. You want your show to matter. And people could just watch and say, instead of just being dumping around with just, like I said, just jobbers and wrestlers and such. But you have to know what type of matches it can. First time matches should be those type of stars right now. And SmackDown, those are the major stars. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton should be a pay-per-view headliner, not something on a SmackDown headliner. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. Could be wrong. Say if I'm wrong, leave something in the comments below. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Oh, by the way, I did say, but my definitive answer here, I believe Randy Orton will retain his championship. Anyway, that's Dukect Lounge for this evening. Thank you so much for listening here live on TalkShoe.com. Thank you so much for listening, and join the show with me. Dukect here. Peace, love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.